Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting East Coast Honda. And I'm checking out the all-new 2018 Honda Clarity. Now this is in the Touring trim level, and the Clarity is a plug-in hybrid that gets a estimated combined 110 miles per gallon. Absolutely amazing. The features, the styling, the economy, everything. So let's go ahead and check it out. This Clarity is sitting on 235/45 Michelin tires, wrapped around 18-inch alloy wheels in a two-tone. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated disc rotors in the front and solid in the back. The name of this color is Crystal Black Pearl, and East Coast went ahead and had it washed for me. It just came in off the truck, and so we washed it up so you can check out the awesome black paint, especially in contrast with the chrome here in the front. I really like the chrome, black and chrome combination, and this one has the chrome across the front, so it has the right across the headlights and all the way to the other side. You have that chrome kind of accenting the width of the vehicle. And one of the first things that popped out to me was these large LED, kind of a L-shaped LED there on both sides. Very bright daytime running light accent. Everything in the front is powered by LEDs. So you have LED headlights, LED turn signals, all that. Now it also has the Honda sensing with the sensor behind this badge here for your adaptive cruise control. You also have a little camera at the top, keeping an eye on the road. So you have these functional airflow ducts down here, just below the LED accent. Now the headlights are in a reflector housing. So you can see it has all these little reflectors here. So your low beams would be your outer reflectors, and your high beams would be a combination of the inner and outer. So looking at the profile of the vehicle, the wheels really stand out and look nice to me. I really like those, and you have this really strong line that follows through with the handles all the way across the vehicle right in here. And then you have a swooping, showing the contour, that chrome portion there at the very top, and the bottom of the glass is black, so that way it just kind of accents the contour of the top there. Now you have a fuel door back here, and then you have your plug-in hybrid port there on the front, both on the same side, which is convenient. Body colored handles, and pretty much everything's body colored. A little bit of a matte black protective plastic down here, but other than that is looking pretty good with all the shiny black. Another thing I want to point out here on the side, check out the styling with the rear door. Okay, so you have this little line right here going up and going back, and you see it, the actual vehicle covers up a portion of the tire. So in order to take the tire off, you would have to lift the vehicle up, and it clears that space. And you see some old classic cars like that, but I thought that was pretty neat. This adds to the aerodynamics. It's hard to explain. Basically, the air is able to flow when it collapses back. As the car goes through the air, it widens, it has to make space for the car, so it displaces the air. So when it wants to clap back behind the car as it's driving, well, the more the wheel's covered up, that's why you see a lot of electric cars and some, like prototypes and stuff, will have the side of the rear wheels covered up with the vehicle. This is what the key looks like. It's a proximity key system designed where you can keep it in your pocket the whole time and use the vehicle. Check it out. It has the blue on the back side with the Honda emblem. Has a physical key on the inside in case you need it, but it also has some really useful buttons. Lock and unlock, ability to open up the trunk. This little fan is basically like a remote start. Now, the reason why it has a fan, I think, is because the engine actually doesn't start. It just turns on the power system, which will initiate the climate control and get the everything going without starting the engine, because it's using battery power. So the only thing you actually hear is a fan cycling on and off. So I think that's why they have the picture of the fan instead. Now pushing this button will unlock or open up the door to charge it, and then you have this panic button down here. Let's go ahead and push this panic button and see what happens. It's a pretty strong horn there. So it flashes the lights, it beeps the horn. As long as we have the key with us, it can be in a pocket, in a bag, or whatever. As long as it's within a close proximity of the outside of the door, I can lock the doors by pushing this button. To unlock it, I simply put my hand behind the handle. It senses my hand position, it senses the key within a close proximity of the outside of this door, and allows me access to the vehicle. You also have a physical key right there to access the vehicle, just in case the battery is dead in the car or your key fob. You can still access the car. Okay, so starting here on the passenger side. So the inside of the door, it has soft to the touch surfaces up here. Down here is a suede material, like an Alcantara type suede with a double stitching and French design, metallic accent separating them. And then you have some matte and gloss blacks with a metallic handle. And this is pretty neat. This is a textured simulated wood grain, and it feels like real wood grain. And then you have a soft touch armrest, nice and soft. Pocket right here as also it's a handle, and a large storage pocket there. Put water bottle or whatever in the door. All right, so there's your threshold power seat here for the passenger. It goes forward and back, and then you tilt. Leather trim seats that are heated. You have the perforations there in the center portion, stitching on the side with the smooth leather. Very comfortable and soft. Very, very soft seats. A little bit softer than some of the other Hondas that I've sat in. Plenty of legroom. Check it out. So this seat's all the way back, just to give you an idea. And I'm going to put all the volumes and measurements and all that stuff in the description, but just to give you a visual reference here, very, very little tapering there on that side, just wide open. And the seat's a little bit off the floor, so it's not like that chair effect, but it is a car. So you have soft touch dash up here, and check out this design. It's like contours around, looking cool. Then you have that that wood grain there, kind of like an ebony type wood. And then you have more of that suede with the stitching. And the glove compartment is pretty neat. It kind of swoops around, but check it out, little button right here. Opens it up, and it's a smooth plastic on the inside. Pretty traditional. And check out this pass-through here. So this is something that the driver and the passenger can share, and it has ports for, USB ports here, power supplies, smartphone connection, all that stuff, and has a little place to put your cell phones there in the center. And I like the way it's dished out a little bit here, just to kind of give you a little bit of visibility and access a little bit better. When closing the doors, I notice it takes a little bit of effort to make sure it's all the way shut. And I think the reason why is because it has two door seals. So you want to have one right here, but you also have one separating the doors right here. So that way, from what I could tell, that would help out with noise, whistling, sounds and stuff like that from the air, and also just airflow going around the vehicle. So you do have to give a little bit of an extra push to get it to close, and you can see it's sealed up between the doors. Okay, so here's the inside of the back door. Same suede back here with the stitching, soft touch up here in the top, and wood and everything back here as well. Pockets. Okay, so here's the back seat. It's basically a bench seat, but the seats on the end kind of are contoured, have some bolstering to simulate like a bucket type seat. And then you have an armrest with cup holders that you can move out of the way. And a little bit of a hump there on the center portion, pretty good size. But the rest of it, the floorboard goes quite a ways down to kind of give you some extra leg room. And then you have the pockets in the back of the front seats, and a little cell phone pocket up here as well. Little device. I think that's pretty neat. I haven't seen that before. And a 12-volt power supply right there. Okay, so taking a look at the back of the vehicle, you have a shark fin antenna right up in here, which is the body colored, all that gloss black. And it's pretty neat. You have the third brake light right here in the spoiler. And you have the glass, the rear glass here, but you also have some glass down here. I don't know if you can see that. We'll look at it a little bit better when we go from the inside looking out. But there's a little pass-through right behind the passenger seat inside of the vehicle, a little light. I mean a little a piece of glass, so you can get better visibility. You have to check it out since it has such a high back here. And then you have that chrome accenting the width back here. Backup camera is offset position over on that side. LED tail lights. Everything, all the lights back here are LED powered. There's no visible or noticeable exhaust tips hanging out or anything. Okay, so we can, of course, use the key to open up the trunk, or there's a little button under here. I'm gonna push that and lift it up. It doesn't take much effort to get it to go up. You can actually see right here that glass, and then the glass there. Isn't that neat? Okay, another cool thing is a hybrid, plug-in hybrid that you can actually fold the seats down. That's another awesome feature that I didn't expect. All right, so checking it out, you have big cargo area. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna put all the specs in the description, but check it out. Okay, so in this bag is the charger for plugging it in. So you have the charger right here, and this one in particular plugs into a 110 outlet. And of course, I'm sure there's a 220 option as well. And let's move this out of the way. These are wheel locks. Lift this up because I got to see what's under here. Oh, more storage. Check it out. Okay. Goes in there quite a ways. And this is removable, that panel. Let's check out what's in here. Oh, you have a tire inflator kit. So there's no spare tire. So the tire inflator kit is stored back here. So you can fold these seats down in a 60-40 split fashion. How you do that is you use these handles here and here. Now, you can fold down one or the other, add to your cargo space while still maintaining passenger space, or you can fold both of them down and have a pretty good addition to the cargo space back here. So I'm going to lower this one seat just to kind of show you something. So I'm going to release that latch. And just like the driver's door, it has this physical key right here. If the battery's dead and you need to access the trunk, not just the front of the vehicle, you can unlock this door, reach back, unlock this door, and you can, I'm lowering the seat just for visibility, but you can reach around it. But there's actually a keyhole right here where you put the physical key in to unlock the trunk. So there's actually two physical key places. It has a locking fuel door, and it's on the driver's side. So it releases there, and it has a pretty traditional cap with a little tether. Let's go ahead and open that up. And it has a little place right here to hang the cap. So that way it gets it out of the way while you're pumping gas. Now to access the charge port, there's a button inside the vehicle which I'll show you. But right now, I'm just going to use this big button across here at the bottom. Press and hold it, and it just pops it open. And that's where you can plug in. To start it up, as long as you have the key inside the vehicle, it could be in a bag in your pocket or just sitting in a cup holder, you put your foot on the brake, hold it, and push this button. Now you notice there's no engine running right now because it's using electricity. So pushing the accelerator, nothing's gonna happen until I put in gear. Okay, so here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. You can see the floor mat hooks in place. There's your accelerator and brake pedal, and a footrest on the far left there. So let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. To open the hood, there's a latch a little bit to the left of center. Just reach in, move it to the right, lift up. You can see it right there. And it does require a prop to hold it up. There's your prop right in front of you. And it hooks in right there. Okay, checking out the engine bay. One thing I noticed, that hood is insulated. It also has seals around the sides, and then the center portion is sealed right here with a little bit of place for the air to flow into the intake there. I guess essentially kind of having a cold air intake. Okay, so it has an insulated firewall. So it actually has a engine under here, a mechanical engine and an electric engine with the electric power, and then it has, of course, a battery to start the engine and all that. So with the engine and the electric part, it gives a total of 212 horsepower, which is pretty surprising to me anyways. And it's a 4-cylinder engine, and so I'm going to leave a lot. It's paired to a CVT transmission, by the way. But there's a lot of technology under the hood that I can spend a lot of time talking about. But I'm going to leave links in the description just in case you want to go in depth and learn more about all the technology. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. You have 2 presets for your power seat. Power windows, all 4 of them are powered one touch up and down. The front glass is laminated, so it has 2 panes of glass with an acoustic material sandwiched in between, kind of help out with you know, sound, and also, you know, it's a little bit stronger laminated. Power door locks. Side mirrors are adjusted here. You just pick a side and adjust it with this little pad. There's a trunk release, and of course your fuel door release, which we saw that. Power seat here for the driver. Now they have a little bit different from the passenger. You're able to go up and down and tilt the seat in addition to just going forward and back. Here to the left of the steering column, you have some buttons. There's the release to plug it in, the little door that I showed you that I released with the key. Then you have the road departure mitigation system, the traction control off button. Now it's default on until you turn it off, and then this is your forward collision mitigation braking system there. You could turn that off if you'd like to. It also has a tilt and a telescoping steering column that you lock it in place with this lever, kind of in the center position. That's supposed to be more ambidextrous. Okay, so let's sit in the driver's seat and check it out. Now, I do think that this seat is a little bit comfortable. It's very soft. So compared to other Hondas, I think this one's slightly more soft than the other ones. Could be just my imagination, I don't know. You have to judge it for yourself. Okay, so I'm 6 feet tall, and I have the seat all the way back, all the way down, just to give you an idea of the legroom here. And I would probably have it right here, or maybe slightly more forward while driving, but has plenty of legroom and very comfortable. Leather wrapped steering wheel with a smooth, like, texture free. I mean, there's no, I mean, it's not slick or anything, but it doesn't have any kind of texture to it. You have little bolsters up in here. Check out, it even has that ebony wood grain right in here as well. This looks like a tungsten accent. Gloss black. Okay, so it's paddle shifters on the back side. So even though it has a CVT transmission, it still simulates gears. So paddle shifters are intended to change to what they call speed ratios on a CVT transmission. So it has the paddle shifters on the back, and they stay with the steering wheel, so they're attached to the steering wheel. As you turn it, they stay right in that same spot, so you always know where they're at. Okay, so here on the right side is your cruise control, and it's not a normal cruise control. It has the adaptive cruise control setting in there. So once it's turned on by pushing this main, turns on the adaptive cruise control, which you can set the distance by pushing this button. Little indicator right up in there showing you, you know, how far away the vehicle is going to be in front of you as you're driving with the radar system. And then you have the lane keeping assist button right here, which you can turn on or off with the system. So basically the steering wheel will turn and keep you in the center of the lane, and you don't have, I mean, you can't do that too long or tell you to put your hands back on the wheel, but it actually can do that. Here on the left side, you have your volume for your radio, and then you have little, these buttons right here or to change through your audio source, audio track, that kind of stuff, or make selections on the screens, depending on what you're doing at the moment. Bluetooth controls here, you can answer, hang up, and then you have a voice recognition. Now this button controls the information on the screen between the gauges, or in the gauges, I guess you could say. We'll get to that in just a minute. Windshield wiper controls are here on the right side. Turn signals on the left with your headlight controls. So you have off, parking light, automatic, and then your headlights. Your trip and your dimmer switch for your interior gauges are right in here. Okay, so looking at the gauges, you can see they're digital. So you have your battery power there on the left side, and then your fuel gauge there on the right side. The center portion has a digital speedometer and information screen regarding your amount of power you're using at the time, as well as what's going on with your radio and navigation, different things. So let's go ahead and cycle through that. So pushing this button right here, this little, you see little screens, information screens. Cycling through the icons, it says make a selection. You just rest on one for a while. It takes a few seconds, or you just hit the enter button. So I'm going to show you a couple of them here. This one shows your drive system. So it shows what's powering the wheels, whether it be the battery, the electric motor, or the gas engine. So right now it's not showing anything, but if I put it in drive, okay, so I put it in drive, I'm going to move forward just a little bit. You can see the power is going from the battery to the wheels. As I move, when I stop, it goes away. Put it in reverse, back up a few feet, you can see it's letting me know that the battery is what's powering, not the engine. If it's the engine, then it will go from the engine to the wheels. So just give you an idea of what's going on with the whole hybrid system. Alright, let's fuel economy. That's pretty much average fuel economy and all that stuff. It's kind of shows you what you're getting in real time as well. And this shows you so your miles per gallon and the last time period in which you've driven it since it's been started. This shows your range. Now you have an EV range and then you have a hybrid vehicle range, and that totals up to 318 right now. So you can see the proportions there, 37 to 281. Obviously the hybrid will get you much further than just the electric vehicle. Digital compass there, and then you can go into your settings, and then radio, we saw that, and then your phone, so like your caller ID and stuff will show up there. So we can go into these settings here. Now the other one is not the one with the tool I want to show you. That's not the settings. That's the time to service. It lets you know when it's time to service. But anyways, that's just kind of a quick rundown of what you can do here on the screen. It's not very complicated. It has very simple icons. You just choose the icon you want, get the information that you want. You have these indicators around the outside, these green indicators letting you know whether it's in eco mode, EV, adaptive cruise control, whether it's on or not, that kind of thing. Alright, so let's look at the touch screen. So this is what Honda calls the home screen. So when I push the home screen, this is what shows up. And there's multiple screens here that you can go through and add different apps, sort of like your cell phone. Let's go into the navigation. You can put in a specific address, or you can view the map. Really like the clarity of the screen. It's nice resolution and the colors are nice. So you can pair a phone. Once you pair a phone, you'll have access to your phone book and all that stuff. information. Let's go in there. So you have your trip computer, vehicle energy. Let's check that out. So there you go. It gives you your HV range. Basically the same information we saw on this screen, except for it's a neater looking and bigger screen, which is pretty neat. Let's put it in drive and see if it's going to give us it's going to give us the same kind of indicator right there as on the other screen, but it looks pretty neat. Then you have Honda Link. That's an app that goes on your cell phone, and in your smartphone connection, this is Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, app list. This is basically like an Android system, which you can go on and browse Google and different things, and you have a calculator and you can download stuff. You can also view pictures and stuff off of USB drive. Okay, so let's go to audio. So you can see your favorites are there at the very bottom, and you can change the audio source. So you have AM, FM, satellite radio, USB, iPod, Bluetooth, Pandora, and of course your smartphone connection there. Now here's your volume for your radio. So there's no physical knob to turn the radio up and down. You use that or the steering wheel. You check out this suede all around. It's nice. And then that wood is at the very top. Okay, so your climate controls down here. There's your four-way flashers. Heated seat controls. You have a 3-stage, high, medium, and low heated seat. And then your driver and passenger have separate climate control. So it's a dual zone climate control, which you can sync both of them like they are now. As I change the temperature, you'll see it on the screen here at the very top, letting us know what's going on. So your fan speed, recirculate the air, your front and rear defrosters. Now the rear defroster will also turn on the heated side mirrors as well. Your drive modes are down here. So you have your Eco, Sport, and your hybrid vehicle button. So this would be, Eco would get the most economy, I guess, and hybrid would be kind of medium, and then your Sport would be emphasis more on performance over fuel economy. And this series of buttons is your shifter. So there's park, reverse by pushing this back, neutral, and then drive. So let's go ahead and put it in reverse by pushing that back, and check out the backup camera. And it has active guidelines as I turn the steering wheel. You have different views. You have more of a wide view, more linear, and then more of a straight down view. Neutral, push that button, and drive. So you push that for drive. And then you can always, when you're done, push the park button. This is your parking brake. You activate it by pulling it up, and it locks the rear wheels. It applies the brakes on the rear wheels. To release it, you have to push and hold the brake and push it down. And then the brake hold button, this will actually hold the vehicle in place, hold the brake for you while you're sitting in traffic. So if you have that feature turned on, once it's on, then when you come to a complete stop, it holds the brake until you push the accelerator, and then it'll go again. There's cup holders, and has these little arms that stick out to keep the cup stabilized. And it's pretty good size. Also, these flip down so you can have shorter or taller cups. Or, of course, you can utilize the space for more than just cups. Okay, so here's your armrest. Soft to the touch. Has the stitching there. I think it's big enough maybe to share with your passenger. Lift it up. And there's a storage space under here. Pretty good size. Rear view mirror is an auto dim rear view mirror. It's actually auto dimming right now because I have this shade over the light sensor. Alright, so you have some tap lights up here, LED tap lights. You can turn on all the interior lights by pushing this button right here. Move it off, or you can have it in the center position to turn on the lights with the door. Then you have your HomeLink garage door opener controls here. Place to put your shades, and it has a foam backing. Have mirror and lights in the visors. In addition to the backup camera, I was getting ready to show you the visibility, but the backup camera, of course you saw that, but there's another camera and it's mounted on the side mirror there. So when I push this button on the turn signal switch, or if I just put the right turn signal on, it automatically turns on the lane watch system. So this is a blind spot camera that aims right in your blind spot there on the right side. So it's basically aiming back that way. And you can actually see the side of the vehicle there. So when you put the right turn signal on, or when you push this button on the end of the turn signal, it will activate that camera. Okay, so now let's look at the visibility in the back. This is really cool. So you can see that there is that little piece of glass I showed you right there in the very center, and you have the regular glass, but then that little sliver of glass is kind of helping you out with the visibility directly behind the vehicle. I thought that was really cool. So you have the glass in the back, and then you have this glass right there next to the seats. Thought that was neat. It was really surprising. But overall, good visibility. I mean, you have those little glass in those pillars, in the seat pillars, and the solid, just wide open back there. I mean, it is a high back, and I can see why they put that little extra glass there to help out with the visibility, because it is kind of high up. But of course, you have the lane watch system, you have the backup camera, and all that stuff as well. You also have a little bit of a distorted side mirror here on the left side, so it kind of bends the light around to try to eliminate the blind spot for your driver's side. Okay, so there you have it, 2018 Honda Clarity. Thank you for watching, and thank you to Honda, East Coast Honda here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Really appreciate them allowing me to show off this vehicle today, and I'll see you guys next time. The Honda sensing in this vehicle has the adaptive cruise control with low speed follow, collision mitigation braking, lane keeping assist, and a road departure mitigation system.